Every athlete has a story beyond the game. But what happens when the final buzzer sounds? I'm Morgan Gardner, and this is Behind the Jersey, where we dive into the untold journeys of athletes navigating life after sports. From career shifts to mental health, we're talking real challenges, raw experiences, and what comes next. Stay locked in, because the game may end, but the journey never stops. Hello everyone, it's your fave, Morgan Gardner. Yes, I am back for episode 2 of Behind the Jersey, and today we're going to talk about social media personas and body dysmorphia. I kind of want to dive into this issue that hits closer to home for many former athletes with mental health and body image struggles after stepping away from competitive sports. Specifically, I will explore how social media shapes our self-perception and contributes to body dysmorphia in those of us who once lived in peak physical condition. I will also bring in perspectives from social media to break down how online personas can trigger or worsen issues like body dysmorphic disorder. So, wow guys, I can't believe we're back for episode 2 already. I feel like episode 1 was just like a week ago. I'm looking forward to sharing more of my stories with you all. So today we're going to start talking about body dysmorphism and athlete identity. Now, my mindset around body image in high school versus now, I used to think in high school especially, I was overweight. I thought that I was eating too much, lifting too much, even though I love lifting, but I feel like I was overweight, to be honest. I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like I was not fast enough on the court, not light on my feet, eating too much of this, eating too much of that. But looking back on photos of myself now in high school, I can tell you I was severely underweight, especially being a former post player for college basketball. The body weight that I was at for high school, I would get tore up in college with that same body weight. However, I kind of had a weird journey with my weight throughout my college career, and I actually like telling this story to a lot of people specifically because it just shows like the mental state that I can turn on for myself to like lose weight or put on muscle or be in a calorie deficit, which is the TikTok term nowadays or whatever. There's a typical phrase called the freshman 15. Now, for those of you who don't know the freshman 15, it's typically a thing for all college freshmen who go through where you gain 15 pounds your first year, freshman year. And I gained a lot of weight due to my injury. I had a high ankle sprain injury and I was out for about 2 months in my freshman year. And I was also adjusting to the college lifestyle. Like I didn't know proper eating habits. I didn't know how much weight you can gain while playing basketball, especially. I will never forget actually, on February 12th, 2022, I believe, my former assistant coach texted me and was like, okay, we're going to get in the gym. You're going to be on a strict diet. You're going to lift a lot, condition a lot. You're going to get ready for the next season. Now, backstory, my freshman year, I didn't play a lot, and that resulted in me sitting the bench. I thought about redshirting. Yeah, I'm not going to go deep into the coaching stuff. I'll put that more into my book. Basically, redshirting means, for those of you who don't know, is sitting out a whole year. Anyways, back to my workout grind. So from about February 12th to about, I'll say May, only because that was the time I was in Omaha. So I would honestly work out 5 times a day. Now, the breakdown of that would be, I would do 5 a.m. on the court with my former assistant coach, 6 a.m. lifts. I think at the time we had a 12 p.m. team lift, 1 p.m. team workout, and then I would go back to the gym with my former assistant coach for like a 3 to 4 or 5 to 6 p.m. workout. That was 5 days a week from February to about May. Weekends, it would depend on how hard I was training throughout the week. So let's say Saturday I just did on court skills. It'll be very light. Sunday I would do light lifts or something like that. Yeah, I was honestly obsessed with my performance and weight loss. I lost a lot of weight. Like I honestly became unrecognizable throughout those 5 months, and I would continue that same workout when I went back home from about middle of May to about June-ish. And I had a very strict diet, protein heavy, low carb, no sweets during the week, And weekends were my only cheat days, I guess you could say. I kept up that whole routine throughout the summer. And unfortunately, I was let down for my sophomore year because I still didn't get the playing time that I thought I deserved. So I kind of felt like defeated and I felt like unseen. So the summer of 2023, I had found out from my former assistant coach that he was moving on to another school. I was heartbroken, devastated, all the above, because at the time, he was the only person that believed in me in that whole entire program. However, I just feel like I didn't have really a support system throughout my junior year of college. My training shifted, my motivation changed, of everything. The 2023-2024 season was honestly my best season, which is crazy to say, but it was my best season. I'm obligated to say now, it was definitely one of my worst seasons mentally. Moving forward, my senior year, I wasn't on the court as much. I wasn't lifting as much as I wanted to because I feel like I've been so let down every single year that in my head, it made no sense to go hard all the time when I would just get let down. So that summer or that whole year, I prioritized traveling, family, and not putting too much stress on myself about weight or eating this or scared to eat, I don't know, canes or something without feeling like disgusting about myself or whatever. But I just prioritized myself really. And I'm going to say my senior year, I don't want to say mentally checked out, but knowing it would be my last year, I just didn't really have the motivation. I was kind of motivated to be done, if anything, because that was my second worst year of my college career, which is also crazy to say because my freshman year I didn't really play that much. So you would think my freshman year would be the worst, but that'll be more in the detail in my book that I'll be writing. Fast forward to now, I lift whenever I want. I do not touch a basketball court at all. Haven't touched it since our last game of the season, which was back in March. But yeah, I'm on no crazy diet. I'm just doing me. I participate in Lent every year. I'm a very religious person and I've been doing Lent since I was, as young as I can remember. So basically, for those of you who aren't religious or who don't know about Lent, you basically give up something for 40 days. It started, I think, this past March. I think by March, beginning of March, maybe. I gave up sweets, fries. But yeah, other than that, I honestly feel like I'm at my best self right now, which is crazy to say because I really haven't hit like my goal weight that I want to be at. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not eating as much anymore, which isn't a bad thing. I just don't have like the same hunger I did when I was playing sports. Yeah, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself to eat this, get this amount of protein. I think it was my freshman and sophomore year, we had to weigh in about, I think it was once every 2 weeks to see where we're at. Throughout my college career, the coaches that I've had, like I said, I'm obligated to say this now that I'm done, thought that I was overweight. And hearing the words, you look tired, you can't make any sprints, what are you eating throughout the day, why are you eating these meals on the road, etc., etc., I wasn't mentally ready to hear those words. I know for myself, I'm never going to be skinny, like a stick skinny. I'm never going to be that. And I know that, which is okay, but as long as I feel comfortable in my body, my clothes, and walk with my head held high, that's all what matters. And I encourage everyone to do the same thing. It doesn't matter how tall, short, skinny, I don't want to say obese, I will say bigger than other people. It's okay. You don't have to be, it's okay to worry about your weight. At the end of the day, God made every individual differently. And I truly believe that if you just look yourself in the mirror every day and just be grateful that God woke you up this morning, is all what matters. As athletes, we are so obligated to look a certain way, talk a certain way. It's very hard because you have older adults tracking your body weight from the ages from 18 to about our early 20s. Especially as female athletes, our weight fluctuates literally every day with bloating, menstrual cycles, anybody that has diseases or anything. As females, we can't control how our bodies react to certain things, which is why I tell people as a college athlete is more mentally challenging than physically challenging, if anything. However, for people who stop playing college athletics, some people fall into that trap of, well, I need to be done lifting, I'm done running, I want to eat, I can eat wherever I want to now. It doesn't matter what mindset you have for life after athletics. As long as you're healthy, you're happy with yourself, you wake up every day with a smile on your face, that's all what matters. I still want to lift. Now, I'm not conditioning like I was in the past. I'm okay with doing my own lifts, my own cardio, my own cycling classes. But really, learning how to value your body after athletics and focus on health and function and just not appearance is a very big factor. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're an athlete in a corporate business world, in retail, in marketing. It doesn't matter what career you choose to be in. In my opinion, it doesn't matter what size you are, because weight will fluctuate. Weight is a very touchy subject to get on. As a society, we're so pressured to look a certain way, feel a certain way, etc., but it does not matter what you look like, because the person that loves you the most is yourself. Now, let's get into social media and identity. Wow, social media. I've never had a negative experience with social media throughout my college career. Now, mind you, a lot of my friends who are in athletics have had mean DMs from adults, kids, fake rumors spread about them, all the above. And I always ask the question, are athletes showing their real selves or just what people want to see? Especially in the NIL world. Everyone's making millions of dollars, this brand, that brand, going to this event, this concert, this marketing event. But deep down, are they happy internally? Are they enjoying what they do? Is this what they want to do long term? We don't know. But the pressure to always grind or be perfect or to be the perfect athlete online, it's just like I said, a mental game. Hiding your struggles is, from my experience. I wasn't very big on social media in college. I will say I was more social throughout high school because, it's just high school. But in college, knowing that the coaching staff is following me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, I couldn't do anything on there, have fun, or be normal on my own social media page because they were always watching my social media pages. Anything you do off the court will affect you on the court. Yeah, so that's why I honestly, right now, that's why I have private stories and close friends, because I don't want my coaches to see what I'm doing. Not that I'm doing anything illegal, obviously. Coaches in athletics play a mind game with you. It's always something. You can walk a certain way, it's a problem. You repost on social media, it's an issue. You come in 5 pounds heavier than what you were last week, it's an issue. And in my opinion, I didn't want my coaches to see what I was doing, happy, sad, upset. They will always make up an excuse as to why I'm not performing well on the court. So last May, I turned 21 and I celebrated in Vegas. You already see where the story's going. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I had a time. Even though I don't remember half of the trip, yeah, I said it. I think after the trip, I saw a video that I posted on Snapchat or Instagram, or I don't know, it was in my camera roll, but I know I posted it. And I didn't realize I had a drink in my hand. And I posted that knowing my coaching staff would see it. Now, granted, they didn't say anything about it, but I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh shoot. Now I'm not gonna play. Now I'm gonna get penalized or whatever. Now I'm gonna be sent to, I don't know, group help or something like that. But always having that mindset is honestly draining. Like, social media to me is very, very negative in this world. Nobody on social media is being real, in my opinion. What you see on social media, don't believe it. Using social media to tell new stories and redefine yourself is very influential to other people, because social media is a highlight reel, not real life. Like, don't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's filters. Yeah, just don't believe all that. So guys, this will wrap up today's episode. However, I want to do something new with this podcast. I want to leave you guys with some questions. When was the last time you looked at yourself without judgment? What would you say to a friend who said they hated their body today? Is the way you speak to yourself helping or hurting your healing? But I also want to point out that the mirror is not your enemy. It's the voice in your head that needs kindness. And lastly, it's okay to grieve the body you once had, but it's not okay to hate the one that carries you now. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I love talking to you guys. I love giving life advice, like I said. I'm glad you guys tuned in for episode 2 about social media personas and body dysmorphism. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and just engage in my social media platforms. And I will see you all next time. The game might be over, but the story keeps going. Thanks for tuning in to Behind the Jersey. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us for more stories from life after sports.